Hello and welcome to England Exclusive. I'm with co-presenter Hayden Smith and special guest Adam Drane, and we're going to be talking about England, obviously. So, we've won the group, and we faced the Italians. Do you think we can do it?
Well, personally I think it's a great chance for us to get into the semi-final of a major tournament. We haven't got there since '96, and I just think there's a feeling this time which it could be our year. Already Chiellini's injured, we know that already. And Italy aren't what they were a few years ago when they won the World Cup. We know they're not as strong as they were then. So I really do think we've got a chance.
Shocking result last night, Adam, involving the Swedish. You really didn't think they could pull that off, did we?
No, well, France are unbeaten in over 20 games, including competitive games as well. And especially as Sweden had nothing to play for, but Ibrahimovic's goal, I mean, that was amazing.
Got the tournament so far.
That alone probably deserved to let them win that game.
So what do we make of the performance last night, Hayden?
Well, it was a hostile atmosphere, and in my opinion that really did affect the players at first. You could tell that they weren't comfortable. The Ukrainians,
Ukrainians.
whatever, they were really bossing the game, and we didn't know what to do at first. But we settled in, and I think we maybe slightly deserved to win the game in the end.
Yeah, Mark Lawrenson described the atmosphere as like Centrinians,
Well,
so quite like hostile, I imagine.
Yeah, I really don't know what he's talking about. It's a very hostile atmosphere. You could tell the Ukraine fans were really up for it.
Yes, and what about the disallowed Ukrainian goal, Adam?
Well, I think we're very fortunate there. I think if you cast your mind back 2 years, I think most of you remember Lampard's goal that went in and wasn't given, and that's a very big turning point. So I guess a bit of own back there, and I see Sepp Blatter's come out and said that we should have goal line technology now. So
It's funny how now it's happened in our advantage. He thinks there should be goal line technology, not before.
sums it up, to be honest.
Well, perhaps FIFA hate British.
Maybe it is looking that way.
And speaking of the French, there was a backdoor rumour that Ribéry won Sexiest Man Alive. What do you think to that?
Well, he's not exactly the best looking man, is he?
Is he looking like a piece of bacon, kind of remind you?
That's not a bad description, actually.
Potato peeling the side of his face.
Well, he's got some...
Just returned from a house fire.
He's one repulsive bloke.
And he's French, which makes it a lot worse.
Yeah, it just sums him up really, doesn't it?
You're a dirty man, Ribéry. Well, James Morrison recently being involved on our show.
Episode 1.
Can I quote, the almighty Dutch may win the tournament? Well, having not got a point in 3 games, they certainly aren't going to win the tournament, and they're certainly not leaving their group.
As he said, the workhouse Dirk Kuyt could have been a big player, but he wasn't there. But Holland really were poor, weren't they?
They were awful. I just couldn't...
0 points.
Awful. Well, with players like Schneider, I just don't know what was wrong with them.
Van Persie didn't turn up, did he?
Or finish that.
Their defence was ropey, with at left back Jetro Willems.
Yeah, he's
I
too
thought he
young.
was some next level bloke,
Just
but
can't cope, can he?
no.
No.
Well, Rooney, what do we make of him? He's scored, but I have to say I think his performance was well below par.
Well, they missed a brilliant chance in the first half, which people would argue Carroll would score. Maybe we should have started Carroll, as they were so good against Sweden, Carroll and Welbeck up front. But it obviously did pay off because Rooney scores. But maybe Roy Hodgson's got a bit of a dilemma to play next game, because I don't think Rooney should be guaranteed to start.
Adam, do you think Rooney should start?
Well, I think if you look at his performance, it wasn't all that. He gave the ball away quite a lot, but it's his movement that gets him into position, so I think you've got to look at that. And he did score at the end of the day, so...
And he's such a big name.
I don't think you can drop him, to be honest. It is Wayne Rooney. Wazza.
Yes, Wazza. And everyone's sung the national anthem, we noticed. Do you think Roy Hodgson's, drilling it into them that they are playing for their country?
Without a doubt, I think he's worked wonders since he's become the England manager. We haven't lost a game under him yet. Even Rooney was singing the national anthem. We're so used to just seeing him against the camera, face down. But he was singing it, he looks proud, and he looks like he actually wanted to represent the country.
Well, the Italians are on the cards next. Can we beat them?
Quite possibly. I mean, they've got some older players. Pirlo, he's still got it. Still got some great passing, but we've got a bit of a younger advantage now. Our average age is about 26 now, whereas theirs is about 28. I think we can do it. I think we've got to know how to play against them. They have got some great players.
I think it all depends on whether Mario Balotelli turns up. He could be Italy's key man. We know the class he's got. He's shown that for Manchester City.
Great goal.
But if the angry Balotelli turns up with the wrong attitude, I think they won't have much of a threat up top.
I also think Lescott might know how to deal with Balotelli.
That's the teammate, yeah.
Do you think Scott Parker can win the centre midfield battle?
Of course, off the ball, there's not much people better in the tournament. It's just sometimes his passing can be a bit sloppy, but he could be a key man in the next game as well, him and Steven Gerrard.
Football Focus's Dan Walker saying that you can hammer a 16-inch nail into his neck and play on
Probably would.
blocking across with his ear.
Real old-fashioned footballer.
Hard.
Or old-fashioned, certainly like our Bobby Charlton there.
Yeah.
And speaking of Bobby Charlton, Jamie Carragher was saying that despite Bobby Charlton and, what was his name? Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
Sorry, had a bit of a moment there. Despite Bobby Charlton and Bobby Moore, Steven Gerrard's the best England player of all time.
Yeah, he's obviously close friends with Steven Gerrard, and that is a really...
Maybe he's doing him a favour there.
a ridiculous statement. Even Steven Gerrard said this because he's his friend, he's saying that, but...
Slightly biased, isn't it?
He is a scouser, you've got to remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Uneducated. Sorry, that wasn't me. And, well, Chiellini's out for the Italian game.
He's had a great season for Juventus. He's their big name in defence, and without him, they've already got De Rossi playing in defence. He's not actually a centre-back, so I think that is where we could really harm the Italians, get some balls up to Andy Carroll if he starts, or Rooney or Welbeck, and really have a go in the quarter-final.
Well, there's been some debate, can we go all the way? Because we do have the Germans in the semis, unless this tournament provides another shot, which we have seen so far. But do you think we can go all the way?
Well, we saw 2 years ago the Germans were about 20 times better than us. You look at their team, I don't think there's a single weak player in their team, right from the goalkeeper up to striker. Gomez is scoring goals, and I think it'll be a very tough challenge if we do get to the semi-finals.
Well, as Gary Neville's been quoting recently, it's written in the stars.
Well,
I don't play the tune, by the way.
I think you could say that. You could see by the disallowed goal, maybe 2 years ago, you could say that luck might have gone against us. And also Chiellini being injured, that's very good for the English. So there's some signs that it could happen for us.
Adam, could it be fate?
Fate, definitely. I mean, I've seen some other pundits saying that the signs are pointing towards a victory. We could possibly have a name on another trophy, and that'd be very good for England.
We certainly need it.
Yeah.
It's been a different atmosphere around, and I'm thriving in it, to be honest.
Absolutely. Everyone's buzzing, aren't they? You can see after the game, the fans, they were happy. Remember 2 years ago, we just scraped by into the quarter-finals with a 1-0 win against Slovenia.
And a draw against Algeria.
And USA, it just wasn't good enough back then. Although we maybe don't have a good enough squad now compared to previous tournaments, there's definitely more togetherness, and I think that's because of Roy Hodgson.
Who should start against the Italians?
Well, I wouldn't like to change the teams around too much, but Rooney's definitely got to stay in there for me. I think Milner has provided that he can work hard. I don't think we've got to change it. I think we've got to keep it the same. Yeah, keep that team spirit.
I think I would start Rooney because of the big name, and you know he can bring some class to the game.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching England Exclusive. Feel free to tweet us and get involved, but otherwise, goodbye.
Thank you.